It's me, Luigi Marinus Gaming, and today I'm gonna review The Bad Guys, DreamWorks' latest original movie after a batch of 4 sequels. It's time for more original content from DreamWorks. Well, I have seen The Bad Guys in theaters on the 28th of March, and yes, I am kinda late, but what did I think of it? Let's find out.
Hit it!
But I'm going to warn you that there will be spoilers ahead, so if you haven't watched the movie yet, then pause the video and wait until you see the movie. It's totally worth it. So the story has been done in a lot of other movies like Despicable Me, Megamind, Wreck-It Ralph, and the Angry Birds movie 2, and yes, that movie too. I know people forgot about that movie, but that movie is also about bad guys becoming good guys, most namely the pigs, but technically that movie doesn't really count in that category cause it's a sequel and it's not really involved around the main character, so yes, scratch that. But what I really liked about The Bad Guys is how it tried so much to not be a masterpiece that it actually ended up being one. The story, while being done in a lot of other movies, works, and this movie did put a special twist. What they did with it is take some endangered animals and turn them into villains. In Los Angeles, California, in a world of humans and anthropomorphic animals coexisting, the bad guys are a gang of notorious criminal animals led by the cool-headed Mr. Wolf, and known for their brazen thefts while eluding the authorities. After being insulted by Governor Diane Foxington on air, they attempt to steal the Golden Dolphin Award from guinea pig philanthropist Professor Rupert Marmalade IV. During the heist, Wolf takes some free time to pickpocket various people, but inadvertently helps an old woman he intended to pickpocket as well, and is praised for the good deed, leading to Wolf finding himself affected by his wrongdoings and Marmalade's speech about goodness. After the gang is exposed and arrested, Wolf persuades Marmalade to reform them, planning to take advantage of the pretense to try to steal the award again. Marmalade invites the bad guys to his home, but his lessons prove a frustrating struggle, with them seemingly unable to adapt to the concept of good behavior. Unfortunately, their first mission to become good didn't work out very well, since Mr. Snake is obsessed with eating guinea pigs and they ended up getting exposed. Luckily, Diane Foxington believes in Wolf that he can actually become good. Later that night, Wolf tries to rescue a cat, and Professor Marmalade became happy for him and recorded a video of it. The characters also have a great bonding, and you can really feel that they care about themselves. I really did like how the story went from there, but even with my praise of how much I love the story, have I told you that the story is a bit predictable? What keeps it away from being perfectly genius is its twist villain being predictable. While I did like the villain, I just thought he could have been introduced earlier on as the villain of the movie, and that being Professor Marmalade. I know it may be an unpopular opinion, but I do like the villain, but I just wish it wasn't that predictable, and it would have made sense for him to be introduced at the beginning of the movie as the villain. But with that said, I really liked the character. I also like Mr. Snake, who's like the best friend of Wolf, but later on joining Professor Marmalade because he still wanted to be a bad guy. I also liked Mr. Antula, which is good at hacking. Mr. Shark, which is a master in disguise and has some of the best jokes. Mr. Piranha, which I'm gonna say is the cutest and funniest character of the gang, but my most favorite character is definitely Mr. Wolf. He's really cool, funny, and has a good heart inside of him, and you can really feel bad for him. And I really did love the animation style of the movie. It has a Spider-Verse and Mitchell's vs. the Machines kinda style, but has a more 3D animated look. But you can still see the 2D textures on the facial expressions, and some of the background animation looks like a painting that can be saved a wallpaper. I also really liked Diane Foxington, who seems to be Wolf's love interest, but it's not really established yet, but there's a possibility of sequels for this movie, and I would really love to see that. I also liked the police officer woman, and she has some of the funniest jokes in the movie. It also has a lot of action scenes, and its heist scenes are the main selling point. It uses a lot of ideas and concepts that really do work. And the third act of the movie was my favorite part, when all the different gadgets were used and the guinea pigs were all freed and chasing after the bad guys. I really kept on the edge of my seat at that scene. I also liked the message of don't judge a book by its cover. Honestly, this movie made me think a lot of the Mitchells vs. the Machines, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Despicable Me, Wreck-It Ralph, Megamind, and Zootopia. Do I think it's better than those movies? Well, I still think Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is a better movie, but this movie is definitely better than the Mitchells vs. the Machines, Megamind, Zootopia, Wreck-It Ralph, and Despicable Me. I would honestly consider this movie to be this year's Mitchells vs. the Machines, well, at least until Minions: The Rise of Gru releases. But I really did love The Bad Guys a lot with its amazing story, beautiful animation and enjoyable characters. And have I told you that this is the funniest DreamWorks movie so far? Most jokes really land and there barely are any jokes that fall flat. If you love Sing 2 or any of the other animated movies I mentioned, you will absolutely love this movie. I give The Bad Guys a 10 out of 10. Thanks for watching and for Lightyear, which is my most anticipated movie of this year.
Yeah, we may be bad, but we're so good at it.